deprived. All right, so if you do have questions, let me know. My bro's about to come here and assist me in just a second, so therefore I can add people on to this. But I want to make sure that we get the game. All right, Jared, definitely, definitely, because I gotta go while I'm hyper vigilant. Let me grab my juices as well in just a second. All right. I got my green juice, man. We healthy for the day. I take one of these every day. You understand me? And then I add this additional to the water, man. Increase hydration. Oh, yeah. With the aloe vera and the lemon, need that. Oh, yeah. Then I got I'm going to show y'all my setup first before we get started, man, because this is necessary. So as you see, I got my singing bowl. I showed this yesterday. I got my crystals around me. You feel me? Got to keep their energy high vibrational. You feel me? And I got my bonsai tree. Got my bonsai tree. And this right here, most people probably never heard of it, but I got coal at the bottom of this. And I put crystal methane at the top. And some other roots and things and oils. And what it does is it allows me to clear my sinuses every morning, right? So we got to wake up and we got to be highly locked in. So yeah, man, you gotta have. Oh yeah, and don't forget, I got the gold water. You understand me? All right. Sam Bell, I haven't put that live up yet. I will put that live up yesterday. It definitely was a great vibe. So if you all want to, Steve, I'm gonna need you to check to see if there's any requests. It's in the closet like last time, so that we can add people on here that got questions about this metaverse, good or bad or indifferent. I want to hear people issues and problems that they have. You understand me? It's called crystal methane, ain't it? Not like to be full with crystal meth. That's what I was thinking when I first seen it. I said, wait a minute, man. Oh, no, it's called menthol crystals. My bad. Menthol crystals. They said, hold up. So I'll show you what it looked like. Give me a second. Menthol crystals. Bruh said, tell me what's crystal methane. He really in the metaverse. You understand me? That's me. Yeah, just set that there. Let it relax for a second. Just let that relax. Now, just for now, just let that relax. I appreciate you checking me on that, man. But thank you, so I can put it out there.
Okay, you have one request on here,
who is it?
Moody Bugs, Kelvin Franco.
All right, first, before we accept anything, when you come on, I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your questions, because the conversation topic is the metaverse. Is it good or bad? How is it good for the culture, right? Now, y'all know me, man, and probably one of the most unfortunate thing is I found out about that. You can teach a people for 100 years. You understand me? If they find one wrong thing, they'll leave you. Our people are so fickle. People, period, are fickle. It's hard for me if I'm locking in with somebody and I've gotten value from them. It's hard for me to just unfollow because of any emotion. Like, I'm just not wired that way, right? But there are a lot of people that's wired that way. They say, well, now it's time to unfollow you. You was looking for a reason to hate. You understand me? So I'm fine with that because you got to go through purification, man. You got to keep all your energies pure. I don't want all eyes just prowling and watching me, waiting for a reason that they can stop tapping in and locking in. And then I see the comments, and then I see, wait a minute. People be like, yeah, I knew he was with the I don't know, the Illuminati or some shit. And then what it does is it makes me feel like the so-called conscious community or woke culture is more dangerous than the people who are so-called to be considered ignorant, rather. You understand me? It's like we so conspiratorial in everything that we don't know how to use anything. And I see brothers that can't take care of their children, steady clocking in a job working for a white man, and got the nerve to not want to learn a new industry to where it'll give him the ability to do for self. So, I'm taken back by the culture's audacity to not utilize the tools to put ourselves into a position. Like, I'm taken back by the audacity that we have to not figure out better ways for us to be able to connect, you understand me, and win. Because we fighting a war on spiritual levels, on metaphysical levels, you understand me, on financial levels, and all. Like, that's the issue. Jeremy Hayes say, I'm white. You ain't have to announce, you understand me, your race. If you want to participate and get the game, just get the game. But as a original melanated man, I sometimes speak towards the racial consciousness, you understand me, that's here and that's involved. So don't start feeling any guilties. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to stay with that pit stuck in your stomach until you find a way to alleviate that. Right. But I appreciate you locking in. I appreciate everybody locking in at the end of the day. Right. If you meet me in person, you got to know that I'm 19 keys. I'm for real of who I am. You understand me? But anyway, we're going to get back to the vibes, man, because it's a lot of great energy. Now, let me tell y'all what I'm on. I'm going to tell you what I'm on, because I'm not even going to deal with that. Whoever's in here, and that is white, brown, yellow, if you can't appreciate the knowledge that's being shared, then you got to just leave. If you can't appreciate me speaking to my people and the culture, then you got to just leave. At the end of the day, there ain't nobody that pays me to do any of these things. You feel me? So that's it. I don't need you. Right? But if you want to lock in and get universal knowledge, then it's going to benefit everybody. Then I understand why you're here, because the game is valuable. But beyond that, let's lock in and keep everything respectful and keep everything beautiful and powerful. You understand me? So anyway, hold on, I'm gonna wait till he's done sweeping. That's kind of loud for some reason. Where are you from? First of all, I want to know. And then I want to get in on some of the questions that you all may have about Meta. And then I'm going to bring in maybe one person at a time so we can have a dialogue and a discussion. And then I'm going to give you my diagnosis on how we tap in. Yeah, see, and here's the beautiful thing. I'm glad race got brought up, because the beautiful thing is, somebody said it, like they said that, this digital money ain't got no color, right? Social media, and I believe that it's my thesis that racism will disappear in the next 30 years. And they said, well, that's a broad statement for you to be able to say, what makes you think that these things will be gone, right? So I give you why I believe that, right? And then I'll give you my breakdown on how we can utilize the metaverse. But first, we got a lot of beautiful people from all over, Chicago to Cleveland to Toronto, St. Louis, living in LA, just like me, NYC, South Australia. What's up, Mike? Vallejo, what up with you, man? You got to switch up it go from Mike to Mank, feel me, depending on where you from. New Jersey, Atlanta, Oakland, right? Jamaica, New York, Jersey, stand up, Alaska, Massachusetts. You understand me? People is all over, man. I appreciate y'all being locked in. Now, I want to hear from some people who have a disagreement with the entire concept of what they believe the metaverse is. Who press 1 if you don't want to be involved with this thing, or you don't think that the culture should be involved with it at all. Those are the people I want to hear from, because that's where we can have a real dialogue. Respectfully. Shout out to Panama in the building. Okay, so I see some people. I see Taz Bailey, Smooth, Creme, La Creme. I see a couple of people said that they don't believe in it. All right, so what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to call in so I can speak with y'all, and I want to hear some of your grievances towards this metaverse. And we're going to go into a larger discussion that deals with NFTs and things of that nature as well, because I just got an offer for one of my NFTs for $25,000 that I paid less than, I think I paid around like $3,000 for it, right? So eating off that one. Now I haven't even took the deal yet, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even took the deal yet, but I could profit right there. And then I'm gonna tell y'all how I got another free $4,000 today as well, just by navigating in the space. I remember when I was working a job, man, and them kind of offers, they weren't coming on the table. I had to sell a lot for other people in order to get commission off of. You understand me? Now I done figured out a game. And if y'all been following me for the last 5 years, y'all know I've been through so many different transitions of teaching this. I taught us financial literacy. We've taught stocks. We taught options. We taught bonds, right? We teach blockchain. We teach crypto, right? We teach you how to be a man and how to be a woman. We teach spirituality. We teach a multitude of different dimensions and thoughts. Y'all know how to go every single place. So you'll be crazy if you don't think I'm locking in on this one. Yeah, I got tomorrow is the 19th, so we got a lot going on tomorrow for the 19th. You understand me? All right, so let me take some of your questions. Steve, do we have some people that's ready to be brought in?
Definitely.
All right, go ahead and bring one of them in at a time. Got to stop crunching, brother. My brother crunching and munching, ain't he?
Hey, 19.
What's going on with you? What's your name and where you from?
All good. I'm from Italy. My name is Ludovica.
Okay. So I wanted to hear your take. Are you pro or con when it comes to the metaverse?
So I'm pro change because change is the only constant thing, right? And I hope you can hear me okay, right?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. I'm pro change. I'm pro metaverse. The only side that I would like to hear from you that I am a little uncertain about as an artist, because that's what I do. I'm an R&B singer. How is that going to affect the personable approach that humans still need to take into consideration?
First, I'm gonna let y'all know whether I'm pro or con of it as well, which I haven't even put out my stance. I just put out the education. But the personable approach goes into anything that you do. I think you got to ask yourself, did social media make the experience with artists more personable, or did it create a disconnection?
I think it did both.
How did it create a disconnection with the artist?
I think it created a layer of comfort for the audience to take the humanity out of the struggle and the imperfection, and just assume, because what you see is basically what is portrayed and what
Come on, man, stop calling.
What you receive, instead of like digging a little bit deeper and being, face to face, you could dig a little bit deeper. So I think that is the negative side, and that's what took away from the audience or from the artists. But at the same time, I say that it did help personalize it, because a lot of content that has been released was a lot more than basically you could reach in the time span of a lifetime.
Well, I would say this.
We almost cut.
I would say
time,
this.
Right?
My personal belief is that I don't think it disconnected people. I think it connected more audience to have a platform to get their music heard than any other point in time in the history of music. So social media actually created more artists than any other platform. You understand me? There's a lot of people today. The only way that they would have got on was by the gatekeepers allowing them to get in, right? Whether it's a record label, whether they get media attention from being on a television show. But now a person can go viral and all of a sudden they have a career, right? That's different. Steve, do me a favor. I'm gonna let her out so we can hear I'm gonna give my answer.
Just a second.
Breaking up a little bit.
All right, give me 1 second, y'all. We're gonna get everything clear.
I'm trying to. I can't.
Just press X on it, bro.
I pressed the X, but it didn't click out.
Can you exit yourself out, please? Right, here on the boost.
It's not the same as before.
Bro, you don't know how to exit out?
I tried, but it's not clicking her out. I pressed the X and everything, but it didn't click her out.
It might just be if you get a little bit closer to the phone, maybe, so it doesn't pick up your ambient sounds.
Can you exit yourself out? I want to make sure everything comes in clear.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
Thank you. I know she in the car too, so it does that. All right. So listen, the first question was basically, does it create a disconnection between the artist and utilizing this space? And I don't know where the hell that pen went, but there was a pen down there, Steve. We're gonna put that back. And no, I do not think. I think that social media created an opportunity for the unheard to be heard, right? It created for people to create their own jobs, to build wealth, you understand me, to put themselves in position and to be able to utilize media to take control of narrative. You understand me? Where the average person was walking around with star potential, but they may have been working at a fast food joint. Go look at somebody like Summer Walker. You go rewind back a couple of years, she working at a fast food restaurant, right? So I think that social media allowed us to have a connection directly to our audiences, right? And social media is what's considered to be Web 2, right? Web 3 is the idea, right, of us owning our own data and being able to interact with the blockchain and, right, crypto and these wallets and things of that nature, right? So in that case, right, and then going forward into what would that look like on how artists can utilize the metaverse, we've seen people have virtual concerts. We've seen what's his name? The guy who had the issue where all the people died at his concert. Travis Scott. Well, we've seen Travis Scott where, he had a virtual concert in the metaverse. Nobody got hurt. You don't mind sending your children to something like that because, right, in Fortnite, because you know that there's no physical harm that can happen to them. Maybe the influence is still not the best, but at the end of the day, it would have saved him from the lawsuit and the deaths that have happened. And this is probably going to be another case that they make. Now, I'm going to just say this before I go. I am not first you have to understand what the metaverse is to be for it or against it. Most people are not against the metaverse. They're against the idea of virtual reality. And that's what most people do not have an interpretation or proper understanding of. Because virtual reality is an aspect of how the metaverse can be used, but it is not the totality of what the metaverse is. So a lot of people have an issue and they be like, nah, I don't want to see people stuck in the metaverse all day, right? And then at the same time, you know what I say, man, if you can't complain about getting high while smoking, because if you're on social media complaining, you understand me, then that means that you need to break out from this phone matrix and you need to go outside, right? You need to get into nature, right? And reintroduce yourself. Because the moment that you start complaining on social media about social media or the metaverse, then you locked in and you a bigger slave than the people who you so-called trying to free. I just want to get that point, and I hope that point makes sense to everybody, right? Like I want you to get that point. The moment that you start getting stuck on social media, complaining about social media, you are a bigger slave than the people you complaining about and the things you complaining about. Don't make sense. You don't go to the devil to complain about God. You understand me? You got to go to God and just work with God. Then you got no more complaints about devil because you're on his side. So I've always taught and spoke upon the necessity for everybody to be in nature, right? Everybody to connect themselves to the proper rituals that restore our mental and spiritual health, right? But instead of people locking in on that, we find something to go focus on because we like to trauma bond with each other. We like to find an enemy other than ourselves to look at outside of what our issues are. So it's easy to make a new devil. We always trying to make a new devil in our lives. And it may be a devil, but I promise you, if you're working with God, you don't notice the devil as much, right? So it's like you want to make blockchain the new devil, crypto the new devil, NFTs the new devil, metaverse the new devil, when you never looked at how you were devaluing yourself and how your rituals were the ones that had the issue, not this new technology, right? It's not the new technology that's the problem. Because I promise you that a person with a sound mind and great behavior, they gonna lock in and utilize every tool for a resource for themselves to build out what's inside their mind. If you have nothing inside your mind, then of course every tool you use, you're just going to utilize it to indulge in absent desires, things that have no true value, right? So we have to be considerate with ourselves, and we have to ask ourselves, what's wrong with us, not wrong with the new tools and technologies. You understand me? So for me, when I think about the metaverse, I'm thinking about all of the problems that we have as a culture and as a society. And I'm thinking about blockchain, because the metaverse is just another buzzword, right? Just another buzzword, like Web3, another buzzword. NFTs is another buzzword, right? And we got to start creating our own programming language towards these things that make sense for us, that we want to use, right? So the way I look at it is the same way I look at all of these things across the board, as an opportunity to complete our goals, right? What are our goals? First of all, what are some of the things that we've complained about massively in the culture? A lot. Number one, mental health is a huge goal, right? So I would look at something where everybody says it will decrease mental health, and I'm gonna ask myself, is there a way where we can increase mental health? First of all, I'm gonna ask, right? Because we can create our own metaverses or spaces, and we can have therapeutic sessions that allow people, and there's ways that you can track the mental health of the culture, because currently there is not a mental health culture where there are neighborhoods throughout America where somebody is showing a value point where we're getting better over the years. That currently don't exist. You're not going to go to Chicago and be like, yo, last year the mental health, you know what I mean, was at a decline, and this year is better, right? There is no metrics for the hoods in America. So we have to figure out a way to use that. So question becomes, is there a model within this metaverse or in this blockchain that we can utilize? Now, if anybody believes in impossible, you may want to exit, because I believe in solutions, and I study solutions, and I study everything to understand how does it fit our solutions. Well, a person be like, nah, you just want profit. Or I live in America, so I absolutely want profit. I think one of the most dangerous things of every leader back in the day is that people forced them in the corner. This corner of conversation where it made them say that, no, I am good because I am poor and I don't interact with the capitalist society. I believe in righteous capitalism, that we can take advantage of opportunities to build out righteous worlds. You understand me? As long as we don't do anything that is against another and taking advantage of them, right? That's a different conversation. So as a man, I'm going to engage in the very thing that can set my family, you understand me, and put them in position, right? Because to this day, my moms can call me. She needs something, her rent paid. But if I don't interact with all the opportunities, and that didn't come off the metaverse, of course, right? But I'm saying, if I don't engage in all these opportunities and become multidimensional and become polymathic, then I will not be able to consistently sustain myself as the world changes. So when cryptocurrency came, and I looked at the fact that the landscape, people always complain about, you know, having to do business with banks. Well, what attracted a lot of people into the crypto space is that it was so-calledly supposed to be, right, decentralized, meaning that it's no longer owned by the banks, that it's owned by the people. So that cured that, so-calledly, right? Because we know now a lot of these things are heavily centralized, right? And then he said, well, blacks and Africans need to do business with each other. Well, it's too much racism and discrimination in the world. So we utilize social media. A person is selling on a marketplace online, and you don't know who that seller is, black, white, orange, or yellow. So what it did is it created equity and equality in a marketplace to where a person couldn't discriminate against you and not shop with you, where you could be a black woman making millions of dollars, and on the other side, you could have a sexist, racist hillbilly who don't like you, but they don't know because they buying your product, because you learn how to create a service on a exchange and on a marketplace that eliminates the opportunities for racism. Because most of the time, racism comes at the convenience, right? So now when we look at it, you understand me? And the way I look at every emerging thing before they popular. So I don't follow the trends. You understand me? I'm understanding the way the world is working in cycles and in patterns, right? I'm looking at the cycles and patterns of the world. When I understand that the technology is consistently evolving, the world is changing. We went through a pandemic. You can find almost the first day of the pandemic, I gave a breakdown of what was going to happen, that was going to enter into a mad world: mobilization, automation, digitization. And that's exactly what happened. And I said that we needed mad skills. So I taught those skills. I taught about all of the things that would emerge because I knew that human connection would decrease, right? And there was going to be a change that was brought about. I teach about the artificial man and his artificial intelligence, his artificial ingredients, and his artificial insemination. That's the AI, right? Then we talk about slave ship to ownership. Slave ship, you don't own nothing. You don't even control your own emotions. Everything controls you. You trigger by any and everything that happens in your atmosphere, right? You're controlled by the city atmosphere when you walk outside. You're controlled by the social media feed. You're controlled by your boss. You're controlled by the bills. You're controlled by the influences of your peers. You're controlled by the celebrity and what they dropping and the gossip on Shade Room. You don't have no control. Somebody can make you angry because they control your emotions. That's slavery. When a person controls your mind and your will. The government controls the mint and they control the mind. They control the money and they control the people. The banks control your money. The school controls your mind, putting you in debt into the banking system, right? So we said, no, we got to break out of this so-called slave system that we find ourselves in, right? So then we had to figure out, all right, well, how do we start to move past the slavery conditions and how do we move into the ownership? Right. So we say, okay, well, let's focus on things that gives us ownership. That's very simple. A lot of times we have to change our focus in the direction of things that are helpful instead of a hindrance to our goals and our vision. Right. So if I'm looking at what's helpful, well, first of all, education is always the first start. Never be afraid to educate yourself on any field, whether you like it or whether you don't like it. The key is education, because how can you speak to the ignorant if you are not educated? How can you be against something that you don't understand? That is ignorance. That's not enlightenment. You can't be against something that you don't understand. It's not how it works. No, that's just ignorance. That's your ignorance just being shown. So the moment you say, oh, I don't like this thing, but you don't understand this thing, you're just being ignorant. That's bias. That's discrimination. That's the how the racism and things of that nature starts to begin. Education is key. So we have to be educated in every single area, whether we for or against it. We can't be walking around not understanding, because that's how we got into the position. We understand the banking system. I seen my brother trapped through a new word. I understood quantitative easing on how the Feds throw money into the market where they buying up assets to try to help the market when we in a high inflationary times. So you got quantitative easing to try to help the economy, and that's one of the powers of the Federal Reserve System. I understood that, so I'm like, all right, I got to start learning this game. Then we talk about quantitative tightening, and he introduced me to that one, and then that's basically where they letting the market correct itself. So the market is going to go down because it has to correct itself, because they're not just injecting it and boosting it and boosting it. So there's a change in the game. But if I didn't have an education, then I couldn't understand it. Whether I like the economic system or not, whether you like the banks or not, if you don't know what a bank run is, oh, right? Then and you don't study it, then how do you? We were so ignorant to the banking system, we didn't know that they was robbing us every day. We did not know that they was robbing us every day. We was taught that we supposed to go to college, open up a bank account. It was the worst advice that you can give somebody that's young without intelligence and financial management because of our ignorance. But if we understood the banking system, you understand me, then we would be financially literate. And it's very hard to fool an educated man. It is impossible to fool a man who is educated completely on how something works, because he can only be fooled where his ignorance lies. Oh, you don't understand this. I can take advantage. Right? So I'm going to get into all of this. You understand me? The same thing with the school system, the education system fooled us. Right? The working system fooled us. All of them because we were not educated on how these things worked. So I'm not going to be of my generation looking at the internet in 1995. We did not understand it. We didn't understand social media when it first came about. How many negative and positive effects came from social media? There's people they get the SADs, stress, anxiety, depression, and suicide because of the social media, disconnected them from life. So we got to understand it early. We got to have an early understanding in each field. Because you may tell your kids, stay off of that, but you can't give them a breakdown on why. And then you can't even tell them better ways to use it that could benefit them. If your children knew that, yeah, I'm on social media using it the complete wrong way, I'm going to get stuck here and be depressed and have anxiety by the time I'm done spending all of these 10,000 hours on it. Because if you look at the amount of time you spend on social media and the amount of time you spend on educating yourself or in nature, I promise you for a fact that you spent more time in the social media world than you spent outside hiking and in nature and in trails. So when nothing comes and you use that thing to argue, it gets you spending more time on it, not less. An argument against social media doesn't decrease the amount of time you spend on it. It's the same way in marketing. Why the greatest marketers on the planet, do y'all know who are the greatest marketers on the planet? I'm talking about as a company. The greatest marketers on the planet is the tobacco company, because there was no bad marketing and publicity for the tobacco companies. They did a study and a test where they took the mind of a person who was a smoker, a habitual smoker, and they showed them the anti-smoking ads. You know, the one with the lady in the neck, she talking like that. And what happened is the same trigger that happened when they smoked was the same trigger that happened when they watched the images of anti-smoking. It still lit up the pleasure system, making them want to smoke again. Why? Because it stressed them out, and then they wanted the reliever of the stress. So the metaverse is stressing you out, so you're going on the metaverse to complain about it. The idea of it. You understand it now? Imagine if people had an early understanding of what tobacco was, that it would cause cancer. But the lack of education had everybody ignorantly opting in without understanding how it could be used against us, right? So education is key here. It's super key. This is how we have to get to this place to understand how we're being used and controlled by all things. And I don't mind speaking on these things in this manner because I want you all to have the keys to unlock yourself when you're stuck in the cycles. Right? So when we talk about a meta, we're talking about beyond. And Steve, you can bring somebody else in to ask a question.
I'm about to ask somebody right this second.
So we got to be careful, right? The way we interact with things, the way we complain about things. Because we may find ourselves, well, I don't like 19 Keys because he dropped this. Well, I probably was the best influence in your life. So now you gave up your good influence so you can go into a circle of people that's complaining on social media, the very thing that you said you stopped following me for. See, making our circle of influence worse. I see things in a multidimensional aspect. You understand me? So here we are in today's age, and we say, okay, well, how can it benefit us? Y'all don't see me spending a lot of time in the virtual reality. I'm not there. I don't spend time in virtual reality addicted to anything. You understand me? I spend time understanding reality. I'm addicted to understanding reality and having knowledge on how to utilize that, because what my study had brought me was in 1995, and I keep coming back to this year because it was so important. Number one, 1995 is close to what the market, when we had the market correction, and when we had an up market and a down market, and we understand the game. But more importantly, when we was going through changes that would impact us for the next 20, 30 years that we did not understand. There was news that was on the TV that we didn't have time to pay attention to. And that to me is when you stuck outside the loop of synchronicity, understanding the meaning of otherwise meaningless things. Imagine if the first time your mother or your father heard the word internet, they interacted and they said, what the hell is this .com era? When they thought about it, you in the hoods of America, you outside. Remember, there was no social media then. You outside, but they could have educated themselves and went into coding fields and engineering and technology. If anything, that's what the school system should have been for. But we didn't, because we were distracted by all the ignorance that was perpetuated in our community and trying to fight and combat that. We were trying to make atonement in 1995 with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan during the Million Man March, because we had so many issues, and we got a lot of issues today. But how do we utilize them? Because if we would have said, let's build the new technological platforms, but in our image. So they would have built a social media that would have been connective, so that when you go look at the top influencer on TikTok, it's a white girl that made 18 million. The top influencer on YouTube, I believe it's a young white child that made 27 million. Where are the Black cultural leaders and influencers that are able to make the money, then utilize it to impact the culture in real life? We see Zuckerberg, billionaire. Steve Jobs had become a billionaire. You understand me? We look at Elon Musk, billionaire, right? Bill Gates became a billionaire, right? Trump became a billionaire. All of these men became billionaires, and they all had an impact on our life. Every single last person that I just named had an impact on our lives. And they became the new rulers. They became the new wealth class. And all we knew to do was to complain about them, because we did not know how to do what they did. Now, let me tell you what they did have. They had family, because Bill Gates was born into a family with money, right? Elon Musk born into a family with money. You understand me? Jeff Bezos, all of them born into a family with money. And when they had ideas, the culture then turned. Their culture wasn't to turn their back on each other. It was to invest to see if they could become successful. So now they took the technology, they built out the systems. And now they have a head start on the culture, like somebody just said. So what I'm looking at, I see our people complaining about the job issues. There's a lack of jobs, and then there's people firing their jobs. People firing their jobs cannot stay in that workplace. Their mental health is decreasing, and they finding new ways to be able to bring in an income. Then you have a whole host and variety of us that's stuck on the block, on the streets, or we got felonies. You understand me? To where we can't go get into the job sector. There's a ceiling of how much money we can make in the job market. There is a ceiling for millions of people on how much they can make in the job market. So they stuck, because even if they go get a job, they go try to work as hard as possible and putting in physical time. They still not gonna make $200,000 a year. That becomes an impossibility to them. But we say, you know what? I know where that is possible. I know where a felon can go make $100,000 a year without having to work for anybody but himself. And over the last, since I got on social media for the last 5 to 6 years, listening to blueprints in the game that I've been giving out, they would have been ahead of the game. And they now will be in position to provide resource to their family and impact on their community. So when I look at all of the people that's locked in prison, I remember saying it years ago, like the prisoners need to learn code. A lot of them have access to a phone. A lot of them have access to a computer. They got the time to study it. By the time they get out, they'd be more advanced than the people that's outside. You can turn the prisons into the next Silicon Valley by changing what's inside the minds. Not every prison system, because we know what those systems look like. But that time that people have, all you got to do is direct them to the right places that they need to be in. If bros would have listened 2 years ago and I say, man, y'all need to get into, you locked up or you in the streets or you doing something dumb, get into this field. They got into it. By 2022, they would have been the experts that the world is looking for, trying to pay them top dollar to come consult them because everybody else is playing catch up. So I wanted us to be early in a field that would have made us more valuable today. My value has increased exponentially because I took my own advice. I said, you know what, Key? I think you're right. You understand me? I think you're right. So, you know, I talk to brothers that's building schools in Africa. I talk to people that is fighting to bring the peace in between gangs in New York. You understand me? I know brothers in Detroit, you understand me, that's going around trying to decrease the violence and help sisters and brothers out there that's on the street. I know people that's teaching tech, coming straight out of prison to give people new opportunities to take care of their children. So you have to be careful when you complain about something that can be the very solution, so you no longer have complaints. Right? So when I look at the metaverse, I'm not a person that likes virtual reality. I think the clunkiness, the headphones, and the time spent. I got a PS4, 5, whatever, 4, what is it? The 5? It's PS5 now, right? I got a PS5. I probably ain't spent the hour on. I bought it when it came out. I like technology. I am a tech enthusiast, but I haven't had the time to focus on gaming. But at the same time, if I wanted to get on Twitch, I could have created a Twitch channel years ago and became one of the largest gaming influencers and made millions of dollars off of it. I could always find a way for a positive, and then I can start buying land, right? So I can go buy houses. I can go leverage my credit. I can go buy land. I can go buy cars. I can go buy gold. You understand me? I can have power to influence. So the digital world allows us to take off the real world opportunities as well, because what you got to understand is there is no difference between the digital and the physical world. It's just another dimension. You may think I'm wrong on that. It's just another dimension, that's all. But they are all real to me. I always looked at it as real. The same way people used to think influencers aren't real. How? When called an influencer mean that you're influential. How is that not real? What is a politician? It's just an influential person that was set in power, that was voted upon the people in a democratic system. It's the same thing that happens in social media. Every follower is a vote.
Can you see the person in front of us?
Yeah. That's my bro, Jared. I know Jared. Yeah. So I knew Jared was going to wait. He patient. So at the end of the day, shout out to my brother, man. Good to see you in here. At the end of the day, man, I want you all to look at things from the pros and cons. Always question everything, but always seek answers to your questions, right? Ask yourself, you know, because I look at everything. I'm a truth seeker. So I can go look at a racist ideology and find, like, all right, where's truth in this? Is there any? And if there's not, that should be discarded and thrown away like trash. But if I don't first search and seek it, I may be missing out on the value I could have learned, because I believe that everything has the value to educate you on something. So we got too much ignorance and complaints and issues that we perpetuate and not enough solutions. So for the brothers that stuck on the block, if I can get them a game and be like, look, y'all cannot sell crack, y'all cannot sell pills and lean and heroin and all the other things that you sell, and instead we can teach you how to sell a non-fungible token. We can teach you how to connect with cryptocurrency and sell digital land, and they can take care of their family and their daughters. Let me wait till the brother done with the chips. He got the loudest chips. He got the loudest chips I can think of. You understand me? Then guess what? I'm going to do that. I don't care who complaining about it, because I grew up in environments that were detrimental to us, and it wasn't the metaverse. It was the hoods of America. It was the courthouses of America. You understand me? Those to me are the most dangerous parts of the world, not the metaverse. The food deserts that exist in the hoods of America. That's to me the danger. The political landscape, that's the danger to me. Right? And then I want y'all to understand this last point, and then I'm going to introduce my brother here. Our children are on these devices. And the quickest way to disconnect with your child is to be disconnected with the things that your children are interested in. Right? Hey, get off of that. Don't do this. Well, guess what? I know that my parents don't understand me. They don't care about what I like or my interest. You understand me? So therefore, I would do these things, disconnect. I'm not going to ask them about it. They might be on social media with Peter the pedophile, but they're not going to ask you about it because you told them not to. You don't like when they on it in the first place. So they don't have an open relationship with you to even have these conversations. And you can't give them the game to do it better because you're not open to understanding. So don't be a part of that generation who lacks the ability to give proper guidance. Just think about that for a second. Because that next generation don't care about the OGs and what y'all feelings are. How many children on Roblox and Fortnite right now? How many of them don't want to go outside because they already on the game and Roblox is the metaverse? Fortnite is the metaverse. I just want y'all think that Mark Zuckerberg created it, and that's the issue. Because he made himself the villain of it. So now I don't want to know none parts of that. You don't want to learn how you can invest in it. You don't want to learn how you can be an early adopter in some of these technologies. You don't want to learn who the software engineers behind it, what collaborations are coming. Because I would rather your child understood how to invest in it than be playing in it. But all your children know how to do is play in it. They don't know how to play the real game. So they're going to be feeding everybody else's family buying digital tokens and skins in the game when you ain't got no skin in the game. Talk to me, man. That's them not with thoughts. You understand me? So I just want y'all to have the right intelligence when it comes to these things, because it's easy for us to go into the angry consciousness. Oh, I'm angry, man. I hate everything, anything and everything. I hate it. But you're using you say you hate the white man and his technology and systems, yet you are on the white man's technology and systems. So you got to make it make sense to me, because 19 Keys personally don't believe you. I just don't believe you. You understand me? I come from a different generation. We a different cloth. You understand me? And that cloth talk is only reserved for the bosses. You feel me? So I can learn how to utilize things in the right manner. And if we allow ourselves to take guidance, then we can properly take advantage of things in the right way. Because remember, our parents was the crack generation. They was in the crack houses of America. Perhaps the new crack house is social media. But I can tell you this, the mental health declining effects is not as fast as crack. It's not as fast as heroin. It's not as fast as the ecstasy that our generation took. It's not as fast as the Adderall. Nah, I promise you that those declining mental health effects that you talk about is not as fast. So what you don't even realize is that a lot of the opioid use has been replaced with the social media use and the game use. If you go study statistics, when you see a decline in one number, it's because it's been replaced with another area. See, I study all of it. I want to understand the whole landscape of what the hell is happening. You understand me? Now, of course, what you need to do is figure out how you can create not balance, but abundance. How many of y'all, if you went hiking this year, press 1. If you've been hiking this year, press 1. Like you went to nature, you was in waterfalls, you went full on hiking. There's gonna be some people, but everybody can't press 1. Oh man, we in trouble. We in trouble. We in trouble. And don't be faking it too. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about that little park you took. You went down the street, you walked past the park. I'm talking about real hiking. You walked in like a mile and some real hike. Yeah. So we got a couple of people, but they ain't coming in that fast. Nah. So when I hear complaints, I see the issue, and it's the complainer, not the thing they're complaining about. You understand me? Because I'm surrounded with my crystals. You understand me? I'm surrounded with my bonsai trees, with my singing bowls. I done took to the nature. I done meditated in nature. I done been to the waterfall this year already. You understand me? But here we are, 18 days in, going on 19, and you ain't went and goddamn touched a tree. Yeah, you on social media complaining on how we so disconnected. Somebody got to make it make sense to me. Somebody got to make it make sense. So anyway, now I got that out the way. With no further introduction, I'm gonna bring in my good brother Jared T. Ross. My brother Jared T. Ross. I first got familiar with my brother through the BWO, and he was very helpful through the BWO. He's the type of person that creates his own jobs through value, right, and service. And I just seen the vigor in which he possessed and how he accomplished things. And whatever he did, he wanted to do it at a masterful level, right? And I respected that. And then when I decided to start the Infinite Wealth Strategies, you understand me, the brother enrolled in the Infinite Wealth Strategies as well, right? Showing even more support. And, you know, from the game that he had before he got in and utilizing the game that he got when he got in, you understand me, he became a beast. You understand me? He said, nah, I'm going to listen to the game. I'm going to take early instructions. I'm going to have an early understanding. I'm going to be an early executor. And he's now on the way to creating a great platform for himself, right? Making people money in the NFT space. He's a very helpful inside the Discord community, as well as he's training and teaching and educating people. Every time I look, somebody got a question, Jared popping up like a bot. You understand me? Yeah, I thought it was a Jared bot, man. This boy, he was everywhere. You could have no issues or problem without Jared being there to help. You understand me? And for those who can't see on YouTube, man, my brother's on the screen. But I'm gonna let him come in, and I want you to first, if you can give me your testimony, you understand me, getting into Infinite Wealth Strategies into the NFT space. You understand me?
Right.
How has it been for you?
Absolutely. Thank you. So as he said, my name is Jared T. Ross. And when I first joined Infinite Wealth Strategies, what I was looking for is just a couple points of clarity. Like I already was kind of convinced, I already saw where this was going, but I had a couple gray areas. And then as I got into IWS, Keys pretty much addressed those gray areas and then made it all make sense for me. And at that point, I was like, okay, boom, I got this. Now I can take off running. And one of the key things you said was you highlighted that we see all these influencers getting into the NFT space, the metaverse space, not having a clue what they're doing. And you said what's more important than that is getting an early understanding. And you just mentioned it a moment ago, having an actual early understanding rather than just jumping in, creating an NFT, launching it, sending it out there, actually garnering an early understanding so you can be in position for years to come down the line. And that's exactly what I've gone through and done thanks to IWS. And now I'm helping a whole lot of other people do the same thing, garner that early understanding.
Yeah, man. And that's the beautiful thing about it. You know, I've seen you flip multiple projects. Like I'm gonna talk about some projects I'm in right now that's doing really good. Right. I recently got into the crypto school project, right? Because I understood what crypto schools was. You know, one thing we taught teaching in the IWS, and I'm gonna talk about the collaboration that me and Jared have going on right now as well. But it was about tokenomics first, having an understanding of cryptocurrency, being able to create an audit, a list of why that you're getting into everything, right? Because a lot of people was getting scammed out their money. A lot of people was jumping in randomly or only knew what to invest if celebrities were in the picture and FOMO in the whole project, right? And hyping it up. So I knew that was going to be an issue and a lot of people will be taken advantage of. So, you know, we taught the safety and the security of the game. So a lot of people was able to take that, find cryptocurrencies, utilize that as a basis, and it was able to make them money. One brother said he did 70, 80K. You understand me? And so then taking that same methodology and bringing it over to NFTs, right, was necessary. Well, I call it funginomics. You understand me? My brother called it the NFT equation, right? Understanding the game before you get in it is very important because everybody wants to get in it. Nobody wants to have an understanding. And see, when you don't want to get educated and you want somebody to automate it or educate for you, then that's where the value of you having a teacher or getting into a course or a community comes into play, right? So being able to get into these projects, understanding what the true value was on why. Because now we are in a space where it's harder to sell out an NFT project and more projects have to curve about utility rather than hype. At first, a person can sell out a project with just a picture. Now a person want to understand, where is my money going?
Right.
You understand me? And that's key and important. I don't talk to a lot of big players in this space that have done millions. I'm talking about millions in this space, right? That have sold out 10 plus projects. But they like, that's not the game anymore. They have to have utility. So what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of people in this space creating better projects because they have to if they wanted to sell. And so there was a lot of people who simply understood that, man, they was buying into projects saying that, yo, I bought this and I was able to flip it 10x. This is crazy. Well, let me create something to where I can flip it 10x, right? So they did. And somebody said in my comments, Raquel Brown says, scam people. People scam themselves because people bought into it because of the hype. They wanted the feeling. They would have bought anything that was on the market. So people decided, well, shoot, if people like the art, I'm going to create an art project. You understand me? And I'm going to sell it. So I want this first wave of NFT people is there were some people that did scam, right? But I'm talking about when you bought into a project simply to buy into a project with the hopes of you getting rich, you scammed yourself. Nobody scammed you. If you bought into a project simply saying that, oh, if I buy this, I will get rich, you scammed yourself, right? So do not get mad at the people who created the product when you wanted the product. You understand me? You was going in there looking. All they did was create a better looking one for you to buy into. Board Yacht Club, all they did was create 10,000 ugly apes, and people went crazy. There is no reason that they should be worth what they worth, besides the law of supply and demand and hype and everything driven around the project. But even if they bought those apes and some people bought in for $80, $300, and they did nothing, just because that project was successful and the other one where you bought a crazy cat wasn't successful, doesn't mean that project scammed you. This one just happened to be successful when that wasn't.
Yeah.
Because if that one would have went up, you would be thanking those people for making you rich. You understand me? There was multiple projects with the same exact utility, same exact roadmap, but some projects worked over others. It could have been marketing, could have been timing. I've talked to people that sold out projects in like less than 5 minutes. Literally, they sold out a 10,000 piece project in 5 minutes. And they said, Keys, to be honest, we got lucky. The community was so organic, it formed around it. Now they're going to actually implement their roadmap, right? But they got lucky. And at a time a year ago, I'm telling people to create NFT projects because I said, well, the opportunity is you could have created $1 billion project. And what other space where you had an opportunity to create $1 billion project? There's not one you can name on this planet Earth. Not in a year's time. Right? Especially anonymous too. Oh, God.
Right.
So there's no way that I wouldn't go teach our people about an opportunity when I know we poor as hell. I wasn't saying, yo, you do not find no footage that just me yelling at people saying, buy NFTs, buy NFTs. I was telling people to understand, get in the game, educate yourself, create projects, understand this space. When I did suggest people buy stuff, I told them to buy CryptoPunk when it was at 20,000. You understand me? That I got the video still on YouTube. I'm doing a free presentation. Well, it might not be on YouTube no more. It's gone now. It's no longer free. You understand me? But I was doing a presentation, and the damn CryptoPunk was at 10,000 at 20,000, and on Larva Labs. I was trying to buy one at 29,000. I couldn't get the goddamn ETH to transfer over at the time. Mad as hell to this day.
Yeah.
You understand me? So everything that I put out, even my World of Women project, I told people women projects are going to boom. You understand me? I told people this. I tweeted it out. I said it on social media. I even showed people the one I bought and the offers I'm getting. Now, when I put it out there, that offer was at 3 ETH. I was giving y'all game. The offer is now at 8 ETH standing right now. I could click a button and accept 8 ETH for that, for something I bought for less than a 4 ETH. So it's like the game is really to be understood. Whether it's sold or given free, you got to understand it. Now, I'll address this last thing. There's a lot of people asking about tax implications, right? Taxes ain't going nowhere. Now, there's ways that you can get around different tax situations, but I'm not going to go over that right now, right? But I want y'all to understand this. If I make $1 million in this space, I'm going to happily pay my taxes. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just being honest. I never thought NFTs and crypto was gonna make taxes disappear. You understand me? There was a time where you was in the crypto space, and yes, you could have avoided taxes. Yes. But I always knew that there had to be a time when mass adoption occurred. You understand me? That Uncle Sam wants his piece of the pie.
Yep.
But if you make $1 million and all you did was create a digital product, now don't get me wrong, some of these things may be unfairly taxed, given that they may turn into actual companies, right? But at the end of the day, that's the game in America, unless you learn how to play outside that game, which is also something we teach in Infinite Wealth Strategies when we teach about trust and trust law and how to navigate the game. So, you know, you may be missing out on $1 billion worth of game by playing around with it. But Jared, if you can, man, with the NFT equation, right? Tell people why you started it. You understand me, and what's actually in it.
Sure. So as I got into the NFT space, a lot of people were coming to me because I found out I was pretty good at teaching it to people. I know how to communicate these things and get people involved in the NFT space in plain English. I'm not using all these keywords, and if I am, I'm going to define it for you so you know what I'm talking about. So I'm really good at teaching, and as people kept coming to me,
Steve,
me all these different
one second, bro. Can you pin this comment that I'm about to drop right here?
Okay, you know I'm new to the pinning thing. So
bro, just hold on to the screen, and it's gonna give you the option to pin.
All right, cool. So, so as people, you get it, Steve?
I got it.
There we go. So as more and more people started coming to me, asking me to explain these NFTs, I found I could not keep up with everybody. Like there's just too many people coming all at once. So I said, okay, I'm going to take all this knowledge that I have. I'm going to structure it out into a highly structured course. I'm going to put it all in one place and boom, now people can come here. They get access to all the information I have. And on top of that, once they get into the program, they do get those lifetime updates. So as I continue to learn and grow in the NFT space, I'm going to be adding more and more content inside of there. And I'm no expert. I think it's concerning when people start saying, hey, I'm an expert in NFTs, because it's so new that people don't really have a decade of experience doing this, most people anyways. So I think it should throw up some red flags when people are saying they're NFT experts, because it's just too raw of a space right now. And it's evolving so fast. But as I evolve and grow, the course is going to as well. And this is a course curriculum that has been taught at the university level. Last year, I dropped out of university to pursue NFTs in the metaverse. And that very same university I dropped out of actually had me back to teach guest lectures multiple times about NFTs already. And I'll probably be doing that again this semester. So this is, it contains all the information I have on NFTs, and it's going to include more and more. We talk about how to buy them, the tools you need to even get started, what an NFT actually is. We talk about structuring out your own project. We're going to talk about marketing your NFT projects. And we got tons and tons of content. One of the most important pieces is going to be the safety and security module, where we guide you through, because people are going to try to scam you in this space. So I make it very simple to help protect yourself as you get into this NFT world.
Yeah, protect your neck, man. That's very important, man. Key to it. If you go get into this space, understand the security aspect of it, right? It's like in investing period, you want to think risk aversion. You understand me? How do I decrease my amount of risk exposure in this game? Because your goal is to keep the money you have. Hold on. Your goal is to keep the money you have, right? And then increase the amount of money that you have. So if your money is being leveraged on something that's not safe, you spending way too much money on your mistakes. You understand me? And you losing over and over and over. But when you have a strategy and you understand the equation, then it becomes simple mathematics at the end of the day. It's not saying that you're guaranteed 100%, but you decrease your risk and you increase your profit. You understand me? And that's what we want to do all the time. As strategists, you know, when you're talking about having a strategy, strategies are 4 times of uncertainty, right? And this is very much an uncertain time in the marketplace, right? And like you said, though, you said something key, that nobody is truly an expert, right? And I want y'all to understand, even if somebody been in this space for 10 years, that don't make them an expert. There's a lot of people who are early investors that don't give them an early understanding. I said it all the time, because there's people that be like, yo, I've been in this space for 10 years. I've been in crypto for 10 years. I've been in NFTs in the first project. That doesn't mean you can teach it, right? That means that you may have had an early interest in it. You understand me? But that don't mean that you know how to create consistent wins in it, right? And that's different. I'm not going like you can get crazy enough to say, you know what, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of projects because I just like them. Or once you understand the game and you can see the game for what it is, you can understand what projects going to at least go up, right?
Yeah.
And I can see the game clearly on what projects. I'm looking at one called Invisible Friends, right?
Yeah.
I know Invisible Friends gonna go up. I'm just for a fact. You understand me? They got one on sale already, and that's probably honestly gonna be worth a whole lot of money by the time they drop in February. You understand me? But it's like there's certain projects I can automatically understand what the value is going to be, how that floor price go kick in, right? And being able to have that level of evaluation and discernment is key getting into a new marketplace, because otherwise you just rushing in there, you interested in it, but you don't know what the hell to do, right? I get people that do that all the time, and you just staring at shit and you're like, well, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy this. So I'm gonna tell you the first way you should interact with the market. And this, I don't care what other people think or say, but I think you should just simply go in there and buy what you like. Buy something that you like. That should be the first project you buy, where you just buy something simply because you like it. Man, this is dope art, right? So I'll go in there, or you like it's got dope utility. I'm just gonna buy it because I like it. So what happens with that is there's no way that you can have buyer's remorse, right? If you buy it because you liked it, it's the same way if I go to an art show and I buy art because I like it and I hang it on the wall and it don't become worth $1 million a year later. So what? I was like it's art. I like it. I'm gonna hang it up and it's gonna be decorative, right? Now, if you buy it because of utility and they actually execute on their utility, you get the benefit of why you bought it for, right? So let's say that you bought an NFT project and they got a play to earn game. Well, now the game come out, I get to play the game. Boom. Now I got what I paid for. Now it's different when you want to understand how to make money in it and you want to flip it. That's the side of the game that where you need to be educated on. And I believe that you should definitely have a strong community.
And that's what I teach inside the NFT equation course. I have a section specifically for project analysis. And I give you my criteria, and I go through each single point, and I explain what I'm looking for. And then I give you examples. I'll go through an actual project and analyze it and say, I like it for these fundamental reasons, and this is why I think it's a long-term hold. But I also teach about, just doing quick flips based on hype that maybe don't have all that utility that you might not really be that interested in. But you're absolutely right. Whenever I do consultations with somebody trying to get into the NFT space, I tell them, hey, for your first one, go buy something that's cheap, well within your budget, that you just personally like, that you'd be happy to hold on to if it was worth nothing. And that will get your foot in the door so you can start understanding things a little bit better before you start trying to make these big flips.
Right. And so my next version of education in this space is really teaching people how to create projects. You understand me? I believe that, that's the evolution on this education, because it goes into what my thesis has always been, that, sometimes it's not your business, it's your business model. You understand me? And I believe that we need more creative business models. And now that we have the technology, we can get more creative with our business models, right? So I'm definitely going to be teaching a business model education, right? And then I'm going to be teaching not only from my experience, right? But I'm teaching from the experience of people that I know have sold out projects, multiple projects, and people that I know have made millions of dollars in this space. And I got the game. You understand me? So at the end of the day, right, when you're talking about creating projects, you're talking about starting businesses. You're talking about creating brands.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
And once you understand that game, then you literally understand that this is not just an NFT consultation, an NFT course. This is a business course. You understand me? That can set you up to have a new business. Your whole family can get involved. You can have a smart contract written where everybody get their piece of the puzzle. You understand me? So it's like this game is not for short-sighted or short term. And once you understand that, then it changes the way you interact with it. You feel me? Like 100% completely. Right? There's so many projects of people that I've consulted and gave them the game. They didn't went on to start projects and do amazing things. Shout out to Kangaroo Heroes. He made me an NFT because bro came to me first and he got a quick consultation. You understand me? I gave him the game and he ran with it. Right? And From what I know, he sold out his project. You understand me?
Yeah.
And that's a 6-figure gain already. You feel me? Just by getting into the space, changing up his business model by adding NFTs to his business, right? And now he running.
Yeah.
So you got to understand this game where there's some people that's sitting there complaining and other people that's sitting there gaining. You know what I'm talking about? Now, let me ask you. How much is your course, number one? Is it like they gotta be like $3,000, right? Because I know people, because hold on, I know people is making, you feel me? Once you get this skill, it's a 6-figure skill, right? Where you can go buy into a project at $300, and there's projects where you flipping and you're making $3,000 off of them, right? And if you can do that enough times throughout the year, that's 6 figures, right? To where a person really take the time, educate themselves, get in the game. They can teach children to understand it, everything. So I know you got to be charging at least $3,000 to be giving people this unlimited access, right? Because to be honest, I should charge somebody. Man, I did a talk at him 500s, and the people are like, "Bro, you charge way too little, right?" And I always understood this about what I put out, right? Like I know for a fact, I could charge $5,000 and it'd be worth it, especially when a person evaluates every single thing that they get. You understand me? In that course, when they break it down and they like, whoa, that's value. I know people that teach courses for a weekend and they charge a person $1,000 to be done with you, right? So that's the whole game. So for you, I know it got to be at least $3K to be valuing what you're giving, because you say you're giving them consistent updates.
That's right. I can't tell you how many people think that same thing. They'd be like, hey, I'm not even going to go check the course out because it's probably going to be thousands of dollars. But I always say that NFTs are for everybody, which is why I've started the course out. Again, 5 hours of highly structured content and more on the way that you get added for free. But the course is $149, one-time payment. You locked in for life. Now, we do have a payment plan as well, but at $149 will get you locked into the course. 5 hours of that highly structured content.
All right, let me stop you there. I want you to, that's actually, and I swear to God, y'all, this is not a sales pitch. What I'm about to say, right? Because y'all know I'm a great salesman and I ain't got no problem with selling. But at $150, I think it's too inexpensive. You understand me? I wish we would have had a conversation before we got on here, because I would have been like, nah, hit for like $350, $500. To be honest with you, right? This is my hope, is that the price goes up February. You understand me? Like I mean this with all sincerity, 100%. You understand me? With all sincerity, I want the price to go up, because when people have an easy entry fee, they don't appreciate where they just walked into, the space they just got into. You understand me? They start connecting the dollar sign to the value, and those are two different things. The price is not the value. It is not the value. There are people who literally, if I were to agree right now, they'd pay me $10,000, $20,000 to consult them on their project. You understand me? Or they'll give me a percentage of their project, which would turn out to be hundreds of thousands of dollars on the long-term end. So it's like, I really want educators and people who done got in this space and provide so much value to get their value out of it at the same time. You understand me? Now, this what I'm gonna do is I want everybody to, damn, you said 150. I ain't gonna lie, I would have. I'm being 100%. I would have charged y'all more. I'm being 1,000%
the price
honest.
is going to be going up though, because this has been the special launch price, because I just launched it last month, and it will be going up. So like people have been saying in the comments, yesterday's price will eventually not be today's price.
Oh, but I also want to note that everybody who's bought my NFT will get the course for free.
Yep.
So if you bought my NFT, then you have to make sure that you go to Infinite Wealth Strategies DM. Make sure you hold on. I need it real quick. Make sure you go to the Infinite Wealth Strategies DM, and you have to go into, what's it called, Collab Land.
Yep.
So you go into the Collab Land, right, and then that's where you can get access to Jared's course, right, and his Discord as well. But I'm about to tell y'all something to text. If y'all want to get, if you want access to it, press 1 and I'll tell y'all how to get access to his. And then I want to hear y'all reviews on it. So if you're a part of Crown Society, that is one thing. We should have our Discord finished by tomorrow, inshallah. Right? We was working on some new bots and things of that nature in there. But if you are a Crown Society holder, right, one of your first layers of value, of course, you get a part of the infinite wealth strategies. And then you also now your second layer of value is getting access to the NFT equation, right? And then we go talk about tomorrow on the 19th, right? I'm gonna talk about the unlockables and the benefits that you all gonna receive as a third layer of value.
Yeah, I want to comment on that because these crowns NFTs that you can buy from 19 Keys, right?
Yes, sir.
Understand that him as a creator can add an infinite amount of value. For example, people have bought these crowns NFTs weeks ago, months ago, and now they're getting this added bonus of getting access to the NFT equation course for free. So you're putting your trust in him as a creator that he's going to continue to add additional value in the future for his NFT holders. And that is what he does.
So that's a whole nother Discord value that y'all about to get and a whole nother set of game. All right. And I can't wait. I will show y'all. Let me show y'all something, matter of fact. So I'm working here. This is my studio where I work. You understand me? Now, I want to bought all of these because these are going to be different fabrics that are going to be turned into crowns, right? That's going to, some of them going to be 100% exclusive to Crown Society only. You understand me? I'm talking about velvets or fabrics, things that were expensive to buy. You understand me? Per yard. Can't even get these. I can't wait to get that one. You feel me? We'll get you right. Where is this one? Like this one right here. This is hella expensive. You can't even see this in person. It's gonna be crazy when y'all get those. Right? And then we got the holographic ones. And I know a lot of people been getting the holographics, like the one I got on my head, but it's actually gonna be better than this. I got a new design, and everybody part of the Crown Society, I made it official that everybody that is a Crown Society member will be getting a physical crown. Everybody as a part of the project. We're going to have a way where you're able to verify it and you get access to it. You understand me? It's going to be crazy. But the one thing you got to understand about the holographic crown specifically is that each one of those, I have to hand cut, fold, design, create. You understand me? It's going to be crazy. Somebody said I'm selling blankets. I'm showing you the fabric and the beautiful material that you get to pick because it's high level. This ain't just run in the store grab. I had to go to one of the highest end fabric stores because I'm cut from a different cloth. You know, talking about at the end of the day. You feel me? But you know, I got my crowns and I've been selling these crowns for years now, right? And I've sold out of crowns for years, and I decided to make NFTs a part of the business model. You understand me? And so that's going to be beautiful because I basically wanted to say, instead of doing it the fiat way, we doing it the crypto way, and everything is on the blockchain. So I want to know everybody who's ever supported. Then I want to have the opportunity to consistently add value to people who support it, right? So when we officialize, when we want to do an event and it's going to be only for Crown Society members and holders, that's going to be different. There was a guy who bought my NFT keys the other day, and he bought the NFT keys. And I'm gonna teach you how to get the equation in just a second. He bought the NFT keys, and it came with an unlockable. This unlockable meaning that he's gonna get flown out to either Miami or LA, right? I'm gonna pay for one ticket, right? He said he's gonna bring his son, right? And we're gonna do a podcast, right? And probably go have dinner or something, you feel me? But that was part of the unlockables that you get consultation in person. Now, the value that I see of this, right, is let's say you got a business, right? And now you get to be on that podcast. So now your business is getting exposure, but you also getting meeting in person. So to this day, somebody can go and try to, buy it from him if he wants to sell it for more value. And then afterward, we'll range the price up because that's part of the utility of it. But being an NFT keys holder also gives you free access to all of the events that I'm going to be throwing this year, or any event that I throw this year, if I throw some. You understand me? So I'm going to do this thing strategically. I got new artwork coming forward. I hired a full-time industrial designer that's putting together a whole Crown Society world. It's a lot of stuff I really should have been showing, but I haven't even shown yet, right? And I got some amazing things on the way. I'd rather just push things out over time because I think roadmaps are outdated. You understand me? I think that it's more so about what you really can execute on. You understand me? And roadmaps are promises of hype, right? Rather than people just actually tapping into the true value. So, the real value, of course, you go get education and you go get the crowns. You understand me? You're a part of our private Discord channel, right? And that private Discord channel is a forever thing. So, you locked in forever as long as there's value. And there should be nobody that's not a part of a community right now. If you living in a time where you got to learn new skills, new industries, right? You should be locked in, and you should be a part of a community to where y'all can teach and assist and help each other. Because that's where I see the most value of any of these spaces. Pay for access, whether it's getting into mine or you getting to somebody else. If they're giving you access to something, that's what you want to buy. Access is the new wealth. You understand me? That money can sit in your bank account, or it can give you access to something that can bring more money in your bank account. It's just up to you whether you want that, to have a part of a community. You understand me? So anyway, let's move forward. So for those that want to get the NFT equation, I'm going to show you how very simply. You understand me? I just created an option for everybody to lock in. And I'm going to drop it also in the Telegram when I get off of here. So what you need to do, and I need somebody to type this number in. Text 323-577-6692. Text the word equation. Text the word equation. So the way to become a part of Crown Society, and I'm going to show you for everybody that is online, go to Rarible. That's Rarible. But I see people already starting to text equation. So yeah, make sure y'all text equation. Should send you a link to get access. But bro, do me a favor and change the prices tomorrow. You understand me? To $250.
Absolutely.
And every week add $100 on there until February 19th. No, let me see, till February, to the second week of February. Add $100 on it every week. Because number one, if you added value in it consistently, then the value is going up. You understand me? So do that. So look, I'm about to. There's a lot of people texting right now. So text 323-577-6692. Yeah, don't do it alone. Somebody said, don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. Listen, I go in my own Discord and I see all kind of value. Right, I'm seeing projects I ain't know nothing about. People asking me, Keys, you know about this? No, I don't, but now I do. You understand me? So that's the beauty. They get to bring things to my attention. I bring things to their attention, teaching me about different things in the blockchain. Then I get to teach. You understand me? And that's the crazy value that comes with it. Somebody said they graduated college. They needed that $150 price. That's perhaps, but it's also so many different ways you can make $150 if you really believe that that's something of value. That's the way I look at it. Like the moment you get a price, you have a price target, and it lets you know exactly what you need to, how much money you need to make. You understand me? To get access. So I don't look at prices as barriers. I look at them as opportunities. Now I got my focus. All right. So for those who asking how to get the NFT, let me see how many of my original ones are left. And inshallah, if my designer is finished with some of the new ones and some of the jury ones, I got a bunch of different things that should be dropping tomorrow as well. But for the original ones, the OG crowns, because those are going to have some special benefits that the other ones may not have, because that's, you know what I mean, that's layer one. It's going to be 4,442 when it's all said and done. All right, so I'm going to my collection now, and I'm looking at it. So you have to go on Rarible. There's 5 of the Crown Society ones left out of 399 of those. So once the Crown Society ones are sold out, that floor price will go up, and you got to get somebody that has one to sell you one. That's the only way you can get access, right? So when we drop the Discord and you want to get your physical crown or you want to get any of the benefits, you have to own it at that time in order to get those benefits. Right? Now let me show y'all here. If you are online, I will show you. So you go here, you go to Crown Society. So remember, that's also going to give you access to the NFT equation as well. Boom. So we'll go here. So these are some of the ones you can do. So this is the one that sold for ETH, right? So it's currently not for sale, but it's a way you can place a bid if you want to buy that from bro who already got it. You understand me? So if you get one of these Halo crowns, it's going to give you access to a physical one. The same thing with all of these here. You get the black and gold with this. The Halo crown come with this. The black on black come with this, right? And then that one is an assortment of ones that you get access to. Let's say 23 now. Let me see. I think that's other people that got it on sale besides me. Yeah, so it's only 5 of them on sale from me. The other ones, those are other people that got theirs on sale. So go lock in, go secure yours now for the Crown Society. Because when my marketing actually starts with it, because I don't think it really started with it, because I don't really even be pushing it out there. And it's best because Ethereum is down right now, so it's cheaper to buy than any other time. You understand me? Wait a minute, I think there's only 4 left now. Yep, just that fast on you.
People are asking how do they get access to the Discord once they have one of the Crowns NFTs?
So right now, the best way is to DM us, right? I'm gonna figure out a way where we're gonna create a website that connects it and give you access to a Discord and all of that. And we're building out a Discord that's going to be a public Discord, and it's going to have a room, and then the room will only give access to verified holders of the actual NFT, right? So everybody will be able to jump into the Discord, but they won't have access to all the rooms in the Discord. Those are going to be special only for NFT holders. You understand me? So text equation to 323-577-6692. 323-577-6692. Put it in the chat, somebody on YouTube. All right, now I'll take a couple more questions before we get out of here. You need to DM Infinite Wealth Strategies. My assistant on the back end will work to give you access to the Discord.
All right, Keith, I gotta head off. I'm about to get into an NFT consultation actually in a few minutes here.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Good speaking with you.
Likewise. Peace. All right, y'all. I hope everybody got what they need. You understand me? If you want to get the crown, I'll show you one more time on here because I got a lot of people that's trying to figure it out on YouTube. So I'll show you. You can download this app called Rarible. So on this phone, I don't have it downloaded yet. Download this app called Rarible. Type in crowns. That's CROWNZ. Let me see if I got a marker. I'll put it on the board. So you can also text NFT to 323-577-6692. And I will send out a link for everybody to lock in. So that's the number. So if you want the course, text equation, get you $1 million worth of game. If you want the NFT, text NFT, and then I'll text everybody a link to it. It should be automatically generated. All right. Yeah, we good. Yeah, just text NFT and it should give you. All right. I believe you can use OpenSea as well, but I listed it on Rarible, so I suggest people go actually use Rarible. That's RARILBE. So you go here, enable my notifications, boom, allow. So I am on Rarible. If you can see it, I am on Rarible. So then once I go to Rarible, I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to text collection. So if you can see it here. So now I haven't texted the collection yet. All right. 323-577-6692. No, I'm going to text crowns CROWNZ. Boom, and it pops up. Right. So now, as soon as you go there, you get access to that one. And then we got other ones on there as well that you can choose and pick from. So each one that you buy will give you access. Boom. All right. So people, I appreciate y'all locking in. I hope y'all learned something. I hope this was educational for you. If this was educational, it was worth your time. Press 1 for me. Press 1. I already put the number in there. It's 323-577-6692. Just pinned it. So it became a message that's pinned. So anybody that needs it. Man, I'm glad that y'all locked in. I'm glad y'all continue to take care of. If you are on the YouTube, and if you're not on my YouTube channel, you're on Instagram, make sure you go subscribe. We got a new podcast dropping, I believe Friday. You understand me? That I want everybody to be locked into. If you here, make sure you press the like button. We got 307 people on YouTube. We should have at least 307 likes on YouTube. You understand me? So if you haven't, show some love. I appreciate y'all locking in. I hope that y'all got some glorious game and y'all ready to go execute with this and start building wealth. I hope that you can take this information, teach your children, teach your neighbors. You understand me? And I hope you got a plan for when you get your crypto and you start getting your cash and you start utilizing it to buy your physical assets. You understand me? My goal is not to get you locked into a space to where you're stuck in a place in a virtual reality world. My goal is to make you an early investor and understander of a space that you can utilize it to build your real world. You understand me? It is opportunity cost that happens when you don't take advantage of the opportunities in front of you, man. So I appreciate y'all for locking in. I'm 19 Keys, and I'll see you later. Peace.
You can ride it on, y'all.